Okay. According to a study done by thevacationer.com, more than 80% of Americans, over 208 million people, are planning to travel this summer. This means it is very likely for most of you to be traveling somewhere this year. I have the perfect place for you to go to add to your list. Fort Robinson State Park, located in our state and 7 hours away from Lincoln, you will be sure to get the most out of your trip. I've spent many of my summers with my family at Fort Robinson and enjoying everything they have to offer. Fort Robinson State Park offers many attractions from history museums to hiking to jeep rides. First, I will inform you of their Fort Robinson's rich history. Then I will tell you the different attractions they have to offer. And lastly, I will tell you about the different lodgings they have to offer. Let's get started on the history of Fort Robinson. Fort Robinson has played a major role in the U.S. history. It started as a camp in 1874, and according to the History Nebraska's website, for the first 4 years, the post provided security for the Red Cloud Agency, which is a Native American agency here in Nebraska. In 1878, Fort Robinson became a fort to solidify its permanent status. In 1880, it started to expand as the railroad came into Fort Robinson. This allowed soldiers to be located to where they needed to go. In World War II, Fort Robinson became a remount depot, which is where they trained horses and sent them off to different cavalry units. At the end of World War I, the stallions were sent to civilian farms to be bred for more horses. At World War II, it was also a remount depot where they were sending horses in and out daily. During World War II, they also created a canine corps to where they were training dogs to send them off to the military as well. They also created a prisoner of war camp just outside the fort during World War II. After World War II, the Army abandoned Fort Robinson and it became a beef research station for the Department of Agriculture. According to the History Nebraska website, the demolition of post buildings in the mid-1950s led to efforts to preserve the fort as a historic and recreational park. After the beef operation was completed, Fort Robinson was turned over to the state and became a state park. Now that you have had the history of Fort Robinson, I will tell you about the different attractions they have to offer. Similar to other state parks, there are a lot of different outdoor activities that they have to offer. Fort Robinson has many trails that you can hike and bike. According to the Nebraska Game and Parks website, Fort Robinson has 60 miles of hiking trails and 20 miles of biking trails. You can also take horseback rides through the trails or a stagecoach ride. Stagecoaches are different horse-drawn carriages that you can ride on. They also offer jeep rides into the cliffs and the bluffs. If you are into fishing, they also have 10 different fishing ponds and many cold water streams that you can fish in. If you are into golf, they also have a 9-hole course that is open daily. Other than outdoor activities, they also offer indoor activities. They have an Olympic-sized indoor pool that is open daily. According to the Nebraska Game and Park website, the Nebraska State Historical Society operates a museum and many restored or reconstructed buildings that you can tour. And the University of Nebraska operates a trailside museum that interprets the geology and natural history of the region of Fort Robinson State Park. These are just the events that go on all summer long. They also have events that are one-time events, such as bonfire nights where you can sit around a bonfire and get to know the other people staying. They also have hayrack breakfast rides, and they also have a beef stew cookout. Now that you know about the different attractions, you need to know about their lodging. Fort Robinson has 2 different types of lodgings you can stay. They have camping, and you can also stay in many of their historic buildings. According to the reservation page on the Nebraska Game and Parks website, They have 126 different camping options, ranging from primitive camping at $10 a night to full hookup for campers at $35 a night. They provide restrooms, showers, coin-operated laundry machines, and picnic tables, and many more. For the buildings, if you only have 2 to 3 people, you can pick one of the 22 rooms in their historic lodge. If you have up to 20 people, you can rent one of the officers' quarters, and if you have up to 60 people, you can rent a whole soldier's building. Overall, there's 35 different options for you to stay in a building. Each building has a kitchen, bathroom, and a bedroom. According to the Nebraska Game and Parks website, they are all furnished with blankets, towels, stoves, refrigerators, silverware, and cooking utensils. This is only a brief description of everything Fort Robinson has to offer. I have shared an important location that is personal to me, and it is also a great part of our U.S. history. Fort Robinson has many attractions that any type of person would be able to enjoy this place. I have given you the history of Fort Robinson, told you about the many attractions, and the types of lodging they have. Will you be one of the many people to visit Fort Robinson State Park this year?